I want to move to the defensive side of the ball again. Phil, we've already talked about the secondary, but the front seven, where I'm really excited again, it's crazy because you lose Javon Kinlaw, you lose DJ Wanham, you lose TJ Brunson, three guys going to the NFL, but I think this unit will be just as good, maybe could be even better than it was a year ago. I expect guys like Zach Pickens to step up. Jordan Burch, the true freshman, I think will play a lot. You have guys like Kingsley Enagbare, Brad Johnson that I think are sort of slept on. They're not talked about quite as much. You talk about the defensive line. Your last sentence says inexperienced but still very talented. And I think you can say that about a lot of positions on this Gamecocks defense. Just talk about that front seven. I mean, what do you expect from South Carolina again? I don't want to say they're underrated. I'm expecting South Carolina to sort of take the next step, if you will, as a defense, because one of the things about Will Muschamp's tenure, Phil, I think we've seen or haven't seen, if you will, is that, he hasn't quite had those dominant defenses he had at Florida. I mean, last year the defense was solid, and there are a lot of good players, but we haven't seen a top 25 defense from Will Muschamp. Do you expect that this year, and what do you like about the Gamecocks defense heading into the season?
Yeah, and I think you touched on the defensive line. I think when if you're just glancing at South Carolina and just looking at the fact that, as you mentioned, Kinlaw's gone and Smith are gone at the defensive tackle spot, DJ Wanham gone at the buck spot, and Brunson gone at linebacker, you'd say, well, that could be a middle of the road defense. But you look at the players that are stepping in. Let's go inside. Zach Pickens, Rick Sandage are a couple of guys that are big guys. They were big-time recruits as well. We talked about Marshawn Lloyd on the offensive at the running back spot. Zach Pickens was my number 6 rated defensive lineman out of high school. Rick Sandage, my number 6 rated defensive lineman out of high school when he came out. Jabari Ellis, big-time JUCO recruit. And many times you see with JUCOs that they really come on the second full year of playing as opposed to the first. Right. So I like the talent they have inside on that defensive side. And outside, Enagbare and Sterling can bring the pass rush, so I think there's plenty of talent. And then you got a guy like Jordan Burch, who's one of the top-rated true freshmen coming in, and he has got the size you want, 6'5", 265. So I do like the overall talent on the D-line. I think they go 3 deep. So they need the young defensive tackles to step up, and if that happens, then South Carolina all of a sudden does have that top 25 defense.
Yeah, I'll tell you, looking at your projected starting lineup and looking at the depth chart, Phil, it's really hard not to get excited about this Gamecocks defense. I mean, you just go down the list, and there are so many names that I feel like really this year, Phil, there is no excuse. And again, I know South Carolina was not helped. Their offense did not help them at all. I think the up-tempo style we saw actually was counterproductive a lot of times because up-tempo is awesome, but if you're not scoring and you're not getting first downs, your defense is going to be absolutely gassed. And I think we definitely saw that at times last year. But again, it's very hard for me, and I think for fans as well, to not get excited when you just go down the list. And like you said, they're 2-3 deep at a lot of these positions. So I think it should be a fun year for this South Carolina defense.